The elements of a short story. The elements of a short story are setting, characters, plot, conflict, and theme. Setting is where and when the story takes place or happens. It may take place during the winter or the summer. It may be set in a small town, in a city, or in the wilderness. Characters are the people who are in your story. When we create our characters, we think about what the character is going to look like, if they're young or old, tall or short. It's important that you also think about how you describe your characters. For example, the girl in the picture, most would say she has curly hair, but she may also have wavy hair, frizzy hair, bushy hair, coarse hair, or tamed hair. We also create characters through their actions and how other characters react to them. Finally, what a character says or thinks is also very important. Plot. Plot is what happens in the story, the actions, problems, and solutions. You can look at a short story like a roller coaster. Often you have some sort of introduction where you set the scene and we get to know the character, and then there's a rising action. So we see that there is some sort of problem, perhaps, where it gets to its climax, where something must happen. If it falls down towards some sort of solution or ending to the story, what we would call a resolution. Conflict is the main character's problem. There are 4 kinds of conflicts in most short stories. You'll find that you may have one conflict or you might have several of these conflicts. Man versus man, man versus nature, man versus self, and man versus society. Theme. Theme is the main idea or belief in the story. Of course, there are many different possible themes for short stories. You may have a theme of heroism, which with a possible conflict of man versus man, survival, man versus nature, discrimination, man versus society, family relationships, friendship, values, all could possibly be several different conflicts, man versus man, man versus self. To get you started on your writing, there are a couple very good internet resources that you can use. The first one we're going to look at is Lightning Bug. Here you can find different ideas for a short story, something about developing a story idea, and how to finish a story. The next site is called Short Story Ideas. Here you get lots of help in developing your character. You have a character generator. You can generate a name, a first name, a last name. Scenarios. Here you have a start of a good story. A post office is a location. Loyalty is a theme. A book is an object that plays a part in the story. So there you get quite a bit of help. And the final site is called NaNoWriMo. It's not necessarily for writing short stories. The idea behind the competition is that you commit yourself to writing a novel during the month of November. Why I recommend this site is that not only do they have this information about the competition and the competition, but also lots of different resources for writing and to help you in your writing. And then hopefully you have some good resources in your classroom. Banish Boring Words is wonderful. Thesaurus to find different ways of saying a word that maybe you feel you've used over and over again. And in the Swedish classroom, of course, you need a Swedish English dictionary. So, what are you waiting for? Get writing.